Hey Clashers, we have the Lunar New Year event around the corner and it's starting on the 8th of February and it's going to finish on the 21st February. But there's obviously a pass again with this event coming where you can unlock a ton of stuff. I will show you not only what you can unlock, but as well the best strategies for those two new event troops. Those troops are temporary, which means you can use them while the event is going on. The Firecrackers and the Azure Dragon. But there's obviously way more. You can unlock a ton of rewards and you can boost those up even higher with the event pass. If you're thinking about buying it, make sure to support your favorite content creator out there. And with code iTzu, you can support me. All of those rewards, you can unlock them with playing multiplayer battles and just get those event resources. With that, you can buy special medals and use them at your trader to exchange them for a lot of nice rewards, which means, for example, this new skin, the Warden skin with the overall dragon theme, which looks really cool. Overall, really nice fit for this overall skin set because there will be all of the other skins, and you can buy way more stuff as well. Be careful though, the overall resources which you can exchange for all of the nice magic items are limited. As well, we have a new equipment, the frozen arrow for the queen, and this one looks strong and weak at the same time, but let me explain what I mean. First, let's take a look at the strong points. It's freezing everything which is attacking, and this does not stop with heroes. So headhunters are something from the past, at least for queen charges, because you can slow down heroes and they won't do anything. The big problem though is, especially for unexperienced player, if you're doing a queen charge, there's one important thing missing for this equipment. Otherwise I think it would be too strong. The only thing which it does, it slows down only one target. And a lot of times you have targets hitting your queen which are out of range. And they can easily one-shot your queen through the ability. Because the bonus stats, remember, every single equipment has like an active or passive ability, but as well is boosting the stats of your hero. And this one is only boosting the attack. It's turning your queen into a glass cannon. Because if you compare it to the archer puppet, this archer puppet was just the perfect all-rounder. Yes, okay, the ability was kinda bad, but the stats it gave your queen was just insane. The hit points, and this is the important thing, the hit points when using the ability is missing. It's now 440 treffer overall hit points, which are way less which your queen is getting with the ability. And you can notice that your queen will go down if you're unexperienced with queen charges. But let's move on to the first event troop. The first event troop is going to be the Firecracker, and I will show you as well the best strategy to use with this event troop together. They can deal a lot of damage and are perfect to place behind tanks. And what is right now a pretty strong tank right now? Yes, it's the Root Riders. Especially the Root Riders right now, still with the King bug. I hope it's getting fixed somehow, sometimes. I guess Supercell hopefully is going for a fix with an update. Let's just hope. But right now, they're still really strong, especially as well stats-wise. So, it's the perfect combination to just put them behind those tanks. If you're channel 14 or below, so you do not have Root Riders unlocked or you can't play them, well, you can just use Yetis with a couple of wall breaks and just use a ton of Earthquakes, for example, as well to get the access into the core. I still like to use the Log Launcher. The reason for this, even though the Root Riders will open up everything anyways, the reason for this is because they're opening in advance, which is really important, especially for your king. A lot of times I have it that the Root Riders are pretty much on top of my king, which means the king can never really take advantage of his rage equipment because he's kind of stuck with the Root Riders. So being able to open the base ahead of you is a really nice thing. It's making your king even stronger. For us right now, the queen is going around the outside, but hey, it shouldn't matter that much anyways, because we have taken care of the core, now we have the Roy Champ, and at this point it's all about just supporting the Roy Champion. Best equipment, which I've showed you already at the beginning of the tag, is mostly staying the same for most of those heroes. The Rage with the epic equipment, with the Gauntlet of the Barbarian King right now, is still the best combination you can go for. While on the Queen right now, I guess the common equipment combination is going to be the Invisibility and the Frozen Arrow. On top of that, with the Warden, you can be more flexible over there, but I would, with Root Riders, always still go for the Healing Tome and the Eternal Tome. This combination is just unbeatable, and I see a lot of people playing with Rage Gem, but those are typically the plays where I have more chances to defend those Root Rider attacks because you have overall less power, which is, well, it is what it is, I guess. But let's move on to the next event troop, the Azure Dragon. For this one, I have actually 2 armies for you, especially the second one is a complete shake-up, especially from the equipment. This dragon is pretty cool, because he's overall really strong from the stats, but as well, he has, in my opinion, a more consistent way of putting out the damage. Electro Dragons or Super Dragons are, I guess, the easiest way to compare them to current dragons in the game. The Super Dragon, you have 1 tile buildings apart from each other, and he cannot really provide the splash which he can normally apply to buildings. The same thing goes for Electro Dragons with a 2 tile gap, and this then means, well, kinda useless, right? So the thing with them now is they're shooting through buildings, which makes it really consistent for them to really get out of the damage out. The army which I'm running is pretty much the Electro Dragon army, which I have already posted on Town Hall 16, which is Baby Dragons, Loons, 1 Giant to tank for your Flame Flinger if you're going to use it, and then the Dragons themselves. Overall, a really common combination, Flinger on one side, Heroes on the other, and then the Dragons in between. On this one, because we have the Healing Tome activated, we have the option of going through the Town Hall. As long as the King doesn't rule out the Clan Castle, we should be completely fine, but, well, not every single time everything goes to plan. So I feel like the same thing with the Queen going the wrong direction on the first attack with the Firecrackers, and now with the Clan Castle getting lured, I feel like showcasing an attack where the attack is going perfectly to plan, it always looks easy, right? But what about if things go wrong? Can this strategy still recover? Well, we have the troops taking a lot of damage, but they're still going forward. Taking down the entire core, Queen is still going on the outside, and we have the Royal Champion in the mix as well, and the Royal Champion is supporting her with the spells, praising for her, tanking for her, supporting her in general is an insane game changer because she's just so strong, especially with the Fox. Fox at this point down, which is kind of unfortunate, but we're going to invest last trees for her anyways, which means the Azure Dragon is going to help us. And remember, we have still that Flame Flinger left from the beginning. Even the King, don't ask me how, but even the King survived the entire tunnel combination after luring out the Clan Castle, making my life way harder. But hey, he is going to finish off this base with the remaining troops, and it's going to be still a 3-star, which is nice. But now the question might be, iTzu, what army do you have as well for us in store? Like, what is the other good army you can use with the Azure Dragons? Well, there's overall a really good combination which you can do now, especially with the Frozen Arrow, for the Recall spell. Yes, take a look at that. We will do a Queen Charge with the Recall spell with the Azure Dragons. So kind of like a Queen Charge Recall Super Dragons, but with Azure Dragons instead. But this combination of the equipment is what makes it completely new, I guess. Because on the Queen, this is the big game changer. On the Queen, we're using the Archer Puppet and the Frozen Arrow. The reason for this might be a bit surprising, but we just won't have damage, because recall attacks tend to be a lot of times time fail. So what we're doing now instead, we're putting as much damage on our Queen as possible, without having to worry about the defensive side, because remember, we play a recall charge, which means we are normally always near the outside. We never really charge into the core. The same thing right now. You can see we charge for the Town Hall, and as soon as there's too much damage with the Monolith, 2 Expos and stuff like that, we would just get out there with the recall, let those things do whatever they want, and we would go again to the outside. This is kind of the key thing for this one to work, because we want to make sure that the Queen never takes too much damage, because she doesn't have the, well, the protection of the invisibility. Instead now, she's using those both equipments, but not only for the active abilities and for like the effects of those equipments, it's more about the passive stats. First off, she's gaining like 168 or something damage from the Frozen Arrow, and then around 140 bonus damage from the Archer Puppet. This combined is turning your Queen into a huge glass cannon, where she does not have that many defensive tools, but offenses wise, oh boy, she is hitting hard. She's hitting a ton of defenses and getting them down quickly. The King on this one is all about just protecting your Queen, because again, as I said, she does not have that many options to survive. The Azure Dragons then will do typically the job that we're supposed to. Clear out the core, take damage away, and do whatever they can do best with taking down buildings, troops, everything. And that's pretty much how you play the strategy, which I think is going to be a really cool one. And overall, I think it's nice that recall attacks now have a better option, because time is less likely an option. Because it's more risky with not having any defensive tools. But hey, sometimes you have to take risks. Overall, something I love about this is that whenever a new equipment is getting added, it's adding more, I don't know, options, more combination options, which I think is really cool. Let me know what you think of those 2 new event troops and the new equipment. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.